These last couple of months have been very, very exciting for me. Now I'll tell you why. Because I haven't done as much in 2 years as I did in 6 months. I was doing many things, many tasks, but was achieving very little result. Now you may want to ask, what's changed? I'll tell you what changed. And they were not really spectacular, lightning striking decisions. They were just very little decisions that changed my results and made me achieve in 6 months what I could otherwise not have achieved in 2 years. So if you have ever felt stuck in more work and little show for it, this one is for you. The first habit was I got a physical calendar. Now, this particular calendar was bought by my wife in, I think, December last year. I had not imagined how this calendar would change my results. Now, before now, I had loved the digital calendar. I would always use my digital calendar. I'll go back to my phone, check my phone. I mean, the usage of the phone, in fact, is one of the things I'm going to talk about. But I'll go to my phone, itinerate, put it in to-dos, things that I need to achieve by certain days. Now, when I say achieve, I mean things that I need to do at certain days. I block my schedules, block my calendar. But a physical calendar changed everything for me. I'll show you the calendar in a bit. The fact that I can plan my day and, plan my month, in fact. Now, look at this calendar. This changed it. Now, I could plan my month. Look at July. Look at everything blocked because I had an end point in mind and then I split them into bits. If I have a meeting, I put it there. If I need to do this, I put it there. And at the end of the day, I check it. Because of the fact that I could interact physically with this, it changed everything for me. Now look at June. Look at June. The same thing. I've turned other months away because there's no point for having that. So I just tear them after usage. What a physical calendar does for you is that you are able to conceptualize your month. If there are 3 to 4 things that you want to achieve in that month, you can divide them into certain days. The days I'm working are also on the calendar. The meetings I've set are also on the calendar. So I don't miss my meetings and everything is set in stone. So I just align with what is here. The problem with a digital calendar is that you can be very distracted. You want to check something in your calendar, before you know it, you're already on TikTok. You want to check something in your calendar, before you know it, you're already on YouTube, in fact. You spend more time assessing things on your digital calendar than you would do on the physical one. So I recommend, if you want to change your results, get a physical calendar where you can be checking out things, be dividing your major tasks into bits. That's number 1. Now, the next habit was that I started planning my day a day before. That looks very simple, but I used to be the guy that would wake up in the day and then try to figure out what the day was going to be like for me. I would have what I want to do, but I just try to figure out, what the day will look like. And before I know it, it's already 12. You know why? Because whilst I'm figuring out what the day will look like, I'm also on my emails checking, okay, has anybody reached out to me? Or even though I don't have any business being on my emails, I just check if somebody has reached out to me, or I check WhatsApp, or who is sending me a message. Do I need to attend to something promptly? Several things. And then before you know it, it's already 12 o'clock. And you're like, okay, so what do I need to do? So before you even start the day, you're already fatigued. You see that? So what I do now is that I plan my day the night before. Now, I learned that in a book that I read, I think last year. Planning the day the night before just creates so that when you wake up with an agenda. You wake up knowing what to do. You wake up with an itinerary. You are not just figuring it out. You wake up with purpose. You see that? And that helps a lot. That really does help a lot. What this does for us is twofold. Number 1, it gives your mind the ability to brood on certain activities subconsciously overnight. So when you wake up, you are waking up with fresh insight. And number 2, it gives me the ability to avoid guesswork. One of the things that wastes our time is guesswork. We are guessing our way through life. And that's what creates anxiety, creates a lot of, morning anxiety, even life anxiety. Now, the next one is I redefined my relationship with sleep. Maybe like many of you, I'm one of those people that want to clock 8 hours of sleep. Well, that's many years ago now, not anymore. Want to clock 8 hours of sleep, and then you still want to achieve greatness. Sometimes it's not really possible. For somebody like me, I would sleep. Sleep is part of the day. Go to work. I still have obligations, family obligations, ministry obligations. Now, before you know it, you find yourself in a loop from one thing to the next, from one thing to the next, from one thing to the next. Nothing so exciting about your life and not so much achievement. So I had to change my relationship with sleep. I like sleep a lot, but I redefined my relationship with it because I know that sleep can deprive me of the future that God has for me. So I'm a night person. I do well in the night. So what I do is, if I'm going to work at night, I spend a couple of hours to sleep in the day, like probably 2-3 hours in the afternoon. That's if I'm going to work at night. Well, plus or minus, for the past couple of months now, I've been sleeping in the new day. I don't sleep a night before, maybe 99% of the time. Last night, I slept around 4 a.m. and I woke up 10 a.m. this morning again, because I know that as a night person, I will do more at night. Yes, I have things to do in the day, but deep work is what I do at night. Am I a night person? Am I a morning person? And let that determine, when I say am I a night person, what I'm saying is, are you more productive at night? Are you more into your work in the morning? Let that determine how and when you sleep, so that you can have more energy to utilize when you are at your peak. So habit number 3, I just redefined my relationship with sleep. So now the 4th one, I put my phone in a different location. There is this app I use. I recommended it to one of my friends. It's the Forest app. What that app does for me is that every time I need to do like a deep work, what I just do simply is, the way it works is, you go to the app, you say, okay, I want to block out 2 hours of deep work. Going to block out all your apps. Even when you go back to it, it will tell you something like, go back to work, go back to work. I found it very helpful, because if we'll be honest with ourselves, our phones, my God, our phones are one of the greatest ways to limit our achievements in life, because there are so many distractions on the phone. So what I do now is that I block out the 2 hours, because it's 2 hours per time, put my phone in a different room and get to work. This is one of the most important things that I'm letting you know, because there is no point redefining your relationship with sleep if you will not then do the work. So if you give yourself to adjusting your calendar, doing everything I've said earlier, you then need to do the work. You can't be distracted on your mobile device, because now there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's X, there's Facebook, see, if you want to be online all through the day, there is something to watch, there's something to see, there is a news to catch up on, there are always things. So what I did for myself is, I block out the time. You can't even send me a message. I throw my phone somewhere. If it's an emergency, call the police. And most of the time, we find out that in 2 hours, nobody has even sent a message. Sometimes we have that savior mentality. What if somebody sent? Nobody will send you a message. So what I do is, I put my phone aside and then get to work. There's no point outlining things on your calendar. There's no point outlining things on your to-do list if you don't do them. The 5th habit that I developed was that I treated each day like D-Day. That D-Day mindset, that today is the D-Day. Redeeming the times, for the days are evil. So I treat each day like D-Day. When you think you have infinite time, you would find yourself busy with tasks that are not rewarding. But when you treat each day like the D-Day, like the last day, or like the day that your breakthrough will come, your attitude will change. You will do excellent work each time. You will give yourself to the process that brings the result. You will do the most important tasks. When you know that today is the D-Day, you will be ruthless with your priorities. You will focus on impact. You will do the most important things. You begin to guard your attention like a hawk, so that at the end of the day, you will see each day as a win. You know, many of us have that attitude. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next tomorrow. Oh, okay, I'll do it next week. But when every day is treated like D-Day, every day has its score. Because really, years are only an accumulation of days. So if you treat every day well, you'll find out that the year is more productive for you. The final habit that I think 10x my results is, I learned to love silent deep work. Now, this is very important, because young people have stopped loving silent deep work. You know, most people want to post their process online. Most people want to push things online. This is what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing now. You know, meanwhile, they are not really doing much deep work. Most of the things that you don't see are what produce the things that we see. You know, I told you that I block out 2 hours per time. Sometimes I do 4 hours, sometimes I do 6 hours, but at least 2 hours per time on that Forest app. In those 2 hours, I focus on deep work. Deep work. No computers. Okay, sometimes I even use my computer because I do the work on the computer, but it's deep work. I'm not connected to the social media. I'm not connected to Slack. I'm not connected to X. I'm not connected to anything. I just focus on getting things done. The silent, deep work is something that you must come to love as a young person. But this work is not something that you will immediately be appreciated for. And I guess that's where the issue is. The fact that we don't get appreciated for it immediately because we like people saying, oh, you are doing well. But because this one is deep personal to you, the result is not instantaneous. The result is over time. And this is the one that ties it all together. Because if you don't do the work, your results cannot change. So there you have it. The 6 habits that made me go from feeling stuck to achieving more in 6 months than in 2 years. Number 1, use a physical calendar. Number 2, I plan my day in the night before. Number 3, I redefined my relationship with sleep. 4, I restricted access to my phone. 5, I treated each day like it was D-Day. And 6, I learned to love silent, deep work. None of these are earth-shattering points, but when they are pieced together, they create a force of momentum for productivity every single day. Real change doesn't come from one giant leap. It comes from small, consistent habits. You have the power to stop spinning your wheels and start making real impact, real change. And you can start today. If you really enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow our channel from where it is right now to where it should be.